The call came just after midnight. A voice I didn't recognize whispered through the static, "Check your wife's phone. The truth is already in there." Then silence. I sat at the kitchen table, staring at the half-empty glass of bourbon. My wife slept upstairs. The house hummed with the sound of the refrigerator, steady and indifferent, like it had been waiting all along for this moment. I told myself it was a prank, some cruel joke. Yet my chest tightened in a way I couldn't dismiss. I went upstairs. Her phone glowed faintly on the nightstand. For a second, I almost turned away. Then I didn't. The passcode slid open too easily. I knew her numbers too well. Messages lined the screen, threaded with a name I didn't recognize. The last one read, "Tonight was perfect. He'll never know." My throat went dry. The room spun. She shifted in her sleep, murmuring something soft, a lie disguised as a dream. I stood there in the dark, phone burning in my hand, knowing the life I thought I lived had just ended without a sound. I didn't speak in the morning. She kissed me goodbye like nothing had changed, like her lips weren't already claimed by someone else. At work, I stared at numbers on the screen, meaningless lines that blurred together. All I could see was that message, "He'll never know." I replayed every detail of the past months. Her sudden late meetings, the new perfume she wore only on Tuesdays, the way she avoided my eyes when I asked if everything was fine. I remembered the night she cried in the shower. I thought it was stress. I held her, she pushed me away. Now it fit too perfectly. But suspicion wasn't enough. Not for me. I needed certainty, proof, something undeniable. I smiled at my colleagues, laughed when I had to, but behind my calm, my mind worked like a blade being sharpened. That week, I became two men. To her face, I was the same husband, steady, composed, predictable. Inside, I was an archivist of her betrayal. I copied her phone records, quietly installed a tracker on her car. Every detail fed into a private ledger only I could see. Thursday night, she said she was working late. I followed. Her car drifted toward the edge of the city, to a motel where the neon buzzed like an exposed wire. I sat in my car, lights off, watching her silhouette step into room 12. A man opened the door. His hand touched her back like it belonged there. I didn't move, didn't scream, didn't break. I only memorized the time, the place, the shape of his face. Back home, she slid into bed beside me, smelling faintly of soap that wasn't ours. I lay still, listening to her breathing, steady as if nothing in the world was wrong. 2 weeks later, I had everything. Hotel receipts, phone logs, photographs, enough evidence to bury the illusion of our marriage forever. I printed it all, slipped it into a plain folder. That night, I set it on the dinner table between us. She frowned. "What's this?" "Read," I said. Her hands trembled as she opened it. 1 page in, her face drained of color. By the last, she couldn't lift her eyes. Tears welled. Her mouth opened, then closed, searching for words. I waited, silent. Finally, she whispered, "I can explain." I looked at her with a calmness I didn't feel. "No, you can't." Her sobs filled the room, but I stayed still, untouched, as if she were already a stranger. I didn't shout. I didn't throw plates. That would have given her power. Instead, I slid a second envelope across the table. Inside was the divorce agreement, already prepared, already signed by me. Her eyes widened. "You planned this?" I nodded once, while you thought I was blind. She broke then, begging, clawing for fragments of the life she'd shredded. Her voice cracked on my name, like it still held weight, but to me, it was only noise. I stood, walked to the door, paused long enough to see her collapse against the chair, papers clutched in her shaking hands. The moment was precise, surgical, a clean cut she couldn't stitch back together. I drove without destination, the night swallowing the road ahead. There was no anger left, only silence. The kind that comes after a storm, when the wreckage is clear and the air tastes of iron. I thought of her tears, her desperation. None of it reached me. She had written her truth long before I exposed it. What remained was mine. Freedom, control, a clarity sharper than grief. I lit a cigarette, watched the smoke curl out the open window. For years, I believed love was unbreakable. Tonight, I understood. It isn't love that binds people, it's lies. And once the lies die, so does everything else.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.